Well, now someone tells me. Sorry. Can you hear me now? I wasn't saying anything big. I was just showing her that she's playing with Ewoks right now, and she likes my books. Nightcap, nightcap. So hopefully people can hear me now. I didn't say anything. I was just basically just showing her as she was playing with Ewoks and looking at my books and saying I got to read her. You want to come up here and say hello? Come here. Say hello, Internet. I don't like to sleep. I like to stay up all night because I'm a tinky. I'm a tinky. I'm a little girl. I stayed up till 2:30 last night, and Daddy had to get up at 6 o'clock. Not me, though. He woke me up at 7, and then I went to sleep at my daycare. My little sister's being good, and she's going to bed. Well, my twin sister. Not little, I guess. Oh, but me? I'm a stinker. Anyway, I started my diet January 1st. It's going pretty good. Didn't feel so well the first day, but been feeling much better today. I think my body is like adjusting, getting into it. Say, okay, well, we're doing the diet. Let's do it. Happy New Year. How is everyone doing tonight? Not much going on the YouTubes. All the channels I subscribe to aren't posting. Well, they're not posting much. Some are posting. Some are posting things I'm not interested in. But I still support them. It was a rough day. First day back at work for the first of the year. I took the Christmas week off. What kind of diet? It's a low carb diet. You know, one of those low carb diets. We only do walks for 30 minutes a day. I think it's 30 minutes, right? Yeah. Because you're not really supposed to work out on it. And I do chicken, baked chicken. Yeah, I'm a dad now. Hey, look out. I do baked chicken for lunch with, there's some 0-cal barbecue sauce or usually hot sauce, which is pretty good, but I have a little blister in my mouth, so hot sauce not good. And then at night, oh man, I'm getting good at making this little egg scramble with mushrooms, onions, spinach leaves, jalapenos. Really good. This is really odd, but I put some beef broth in with the eggs, and it gave it a little salty flavor, so I have to put salt on it now, and it gives it a little beef taste. That's kind of nasty, but it actually was pretty good. I almost tasted this kind of weird, like those Chinese fried eggs and noodles that you get. It almost tasted like that, which is kind of weird, I know. Maybe they use beef stock in their noodles. Oh, I know. We got to talk, don't we? Let's see. Anyway, though, I could eat that egg scramble like every day. I mean, I do eat it every day when I'm on the diet, but I ate it a lot when I was off the diet because I really enjoy it. I really do. I can eat it all the time. So that little egg scramble is awesome. I wish you could have it for lunch and breakfast, but I have to prepare it fresh, and I don't have time at lunch because I'm at work. So it's that baked chicken, which is okay. I mean, eventually I'm going to get old of it, and I'm going to go with fish for a little while, then probably go back to chicken. I know. Twin sons, actually twin girls, but yeah. Thank you. Congratulations. YouTube's been boring lately. It's just the same old, here's an article I don't like, let's talk about it. Yeah, one of the things, avocado's good. Sorry, avocados are good. I should get an avocado. Ooh, good call. I just got some protein bars because usually I have a snack. It's a protein bar, but I recalled now today I save it at night because at night I want to be as full as I can, and then I drink my water. Anyway, Rob, one of the things I almost did for Yub Nub's Halloween special, you know, when I was disguising my channel as other kind of poking fun at other channels, is, and I know a lot of my good friends do this. And I love them. But you read an article for someone. I can read the article. Give me your thoughts on it. Don't just read it word for word. I don't know, but people love doing that. And that's the way people do, you know, their commentary. They have to read the article for us. It's fine. I understand it, but I was like, oh, I could just read it myself if I was interested and talk about what they don't like about it. So, yeah, I know. Like I said, a lot of my good friends do it, and I'm fine with that, but it's just not for me. I just don't get it. Like, I lovingly picked at a lot of the channels. I don't get. But you know what? Hey, those channels are bigger than me, so they're probably doing something right, right? Matt, what would your dream car be? Dream car. Ooh, the 1966 Batmobile. You didn't see that coming, did you? That'd be pretty awesome to have. I'd want to have a geeky car, of course. My wife would want the General Lee because she's a big Dukes of Hazzard fan. Another geeky car. Another geeky car I would like would be the Back to the Future car, maybe. Don't know, but that's a good question. But if it's a regular car, I don't know. I mean, you know, you go with the classic Ferrari, but I'd want the 80s, the 1980 version that Magnum PI drove around. I mean, I'm just not much of a big car guy, so I don't know. It's a great question, though. What kind of car would you want? And you're getting a rental because you tinky. So anyway, this one slept for 2 hours in the morning and 2 hours in the afternoon at her daycare. Because why sleep at night? That's what we keep Daddy up for. Here, watch this. She loves being upside down. This is my little thrill seeker here. Watch. She likes when I throw her up in the air and catch her. I'm not going to do that because someone's going to call me in for Child Protection Agency. But she loves it. But when I hold her upside down, wow. Look at her face. Wow. She is super happy. Did you see that? Let's try it one more time. Wow. Look at that face. Yes. You're so kissable. Just not this late at night. Okay, go play. Oh, go get those shoes. She likes my slippers. All right. Love a DeLorean. 78 Stingray pace car. Looks a lot like the 60s Batmobile. Oh, yeah, I think I actually know what you're talking about there. It's a little gray car, right? Recently, I showed a friend of mine the Life Day Holiday Special a while back. Curious how often you've seen it. I saw it 3 years in a row once. 4 or 5, maybe 5 times. Maybe 5 or 6 times. Okay, I'll let you back up here. I don't care. Maybe 5 or 6 times I saw it. I remember I saw it 3 times in a row. I saw it once with a buddy of mine, Dwayne. He's been on my podcast before. And then I showed it to my nephews. And then I showed it to someone else, another group of people who wanted to watch it. But every Christmas for 3 years. I thought I'd make it a tradition, but even I couldn't watch it for that long. But 3 years straight. I watched it once in college, which was my first time watching it. And I think I've watched it by myself. I rewatched it a few years later after college. So I want to say 5 times, I think. Would I watch it again? Eventually, I will. Eventually. I watch it with these numbskulls. Any older... oh, man. Hold on. Let me watch the Boba Fett cartoon. Yeah. Any older TV shows that you like or liked? I'm watching Magnum PI right now. Almost done with season 6. I got 2 more episodes left. It's unbelievably good. Unbelievably good. Surprisingly good. Yeah, I know. I think I'm on the second to the last episode for season 6, and so I'm going through a season of Magnum and then something on Disney Plus. Like I'll finish off season 2 of Emperor's New School. Not like I said, Emperor's New School, not as good as I wanted to, but because I like Emperor's New Groove, I have to finish it. I have to. So, but I can't wait because I think Magnum PI is it's really good. My brother told me it was good. He saw season 1. He's like, it was a pretty good show, but then he stopped watching it. Well, now that I'm watching again, he wants to watch it again. I'm missing some questions here. How are you going to go about introducing Star Wars to the twins? I kind of answered this last night, but I'm going to do like children's books first and then kind of slowly build them up. Children's, young adult books, and then regular books. Oh my goodness. If you drop that thing, you're going with it. You're going with it. All right. I said twins. Poetry rhymes. Yeah. I watched the holiday special after The Last Jedi as a palate cleanser. Grant says I watched the holiday special after The Last Jedi as a palate cleanser. Thanks for introducing me to the... Hey, hold on. I don't do this enough because... well, it's not doing... Why won't it show me the comments? I'm clicking on it. Anyway, That's funny. That's funny. Did you watch The Mandalorian? No, Pip, I didn't. I don't watch any of the new canon stuff. If people are loving it, I'm happy for them. That's totally fine. I got other stuff to watch. Are the Ewoks movies worth watching? To me, they are. But remember, I'm an Ewoks fan. Now, you got to take those with a grain of salt because they were done in, 84 and 85, I think. And they're for kids. They're for kids, and they're on the TV budget. But I still think they're good. I mean, later on, we find out that one of them is a witch of Dothamir, the only witch to premiere in a live-action Star Wars movie. So that's interesting, even though they don't say witches of Dothamir. That's just how they explain her later on. But to be honest, I enjoyed them. They seem a little kiddie. I remember a buddy of mine borrowed the DVDs from me a long time ago and then gave them back and went, "These are garbage." I was like, ugh. Well, dude, you got to remember it's back in the early 80s or mid 80s, and it was made for kids. Those Ewoks movies were, and he thought they were just goofy. Nothing like Star Wars. But I enjoyed them. So if you can unhinge your brain for a minute, I'm seriously going to chuck you over with that Ewok. I told you I would. Now she's just looking at the Ewok. She just dropped on the floor. But anyway, if you can unhinge your brain a little bit and just enjoy it. Just enjoy it for what it is. Just a children's Ewoks movie. They're actually pretty fun to watch, in my opinion. But everyone else, let me know. Have you seen the Ewok movies, the TV movies, and did you enjoy them? Yes or no? The second one is kind of grim. I guess I won't give spoilers, but it starts off very dark. And because George Lucas wanted it to be like, he had just read Heidi to his girls, and he said, "Ooh, this is what the second one should kind of be like." So he gave the reprimand to kill off a bunch of characters from the first movie. And it's kind of like, "George, are you sure?" He's like, yeah, do it. Okay. Because his kids love the Ewoks too. And those are all filmed on Skywalker Ranch. So in Lucas's backwoods, he came onto the set every day. He even reshot half of it. He did all the reshoots for one of the movies. Did y'all hear that? Did you just poop your pants? Hold on. Let me see. Were the Ewoks see canon at the time? Yes, I believe they are, even though I can't recall. I think they are, though. I mean, the Ewok movies don't contradict anything. They happen on Endor to a random family that gets dropped in there. So honestly, it doesn't contradict anything in the expanded universe. So they could easily be put in C canon. Yeah, Grant, you know what? You may want to watch when you have kids. I think kids would enjoy it. I think so. Professor Geek, did you enjoy those? You did. That's really nice. I'm glad you did. Folks, Professor Geek just recently, I don't say just recently, but stop. He found out about the expanded universe not too long ago and has become a big fan of it. In fact, baby. All right, she's getting kind of rowdy. I may have to put her down again. Hey, watch it. Does anyone have kids? When's too young for Benadryl? Okay. That's funny. Hold on just a second here. All right. What did you do? Something is screwed up here. Anyway, Geek and real quick, work. Stop. Yo, Christopher Barker, how's it going? Yeah, I'm a newbie. Professor Geek is fine. I'm actually excited. He's going to contribute to the website, expandeduniverse.com, and he is going to talk about, basically his experiences coming into his first impressions of the expanded universe books he's reading. So it's really exciting. It's a really exciting time. Unfortunately, he's doing it in chronological order, which I wouldn't suggest. But you know what? I can't wait. I can't wait to hear his opinions. Let me see. I heard the 80s and 70s novels, Splinters, Hansel, were not part of the EU until later. And some later on, sort of like the Marvel comics. Is that true? Yes, later on they were, but they're rarely. I mean, Lando trilogy, no one mentions it. Han Solo trilogy, someone in New Jedi Order mentions it very well. No, it's mentioned a few times. Brian Daley's trilogy is mentioned a few times in the EU, and Splinter of the Mind's Eye, I don't think is addressed. Hold on, just a minute. That's disgusting, but okay. Just had to make sure. There was gas earlier. Just had to make sure it wasn't anything worse. Glad you got to see that. Christopher Barker says it's going good. I'm glad. What was that about? Sorry, went out for a minute. Professor Geek, you got a link in your Gmail account from my Gmail, if you care to join. Let's see. Professor Geek, would you recommend the order the way they were released? Chronologically, no. The publication order, maybe. Personally, it depends on what you like, but if you like the original trilogy, you should start with the Thrawn trilogy, which I think you did. And then from there, personally, I'd go, I don't know what I would do. I think you may be doing it right. Maybe going chronological order is the best way after you've read the Thrawn trilogy. Just to let you know it's good. I would never start anyone on Dawn of the Jedi, but after they've read a good EU novel, man, that would be interesting. Because I think if you go through it chronologically, I think the story just gets better the farther up the timeline it goes, to be honest. I really do. I really think the stories just get better. Del Rey's books just get even better. So that may be the way to do it. Never mind. But you got to start with something good, better than Dawn of the Jedi. I don't know. You may like Dawn of the Jedi. New Jedi Order series is the best. Oh, it's a great series. When it goes on there, I mean, it goes, and everyone's saying New Jedi Order. Oh, baby. Hold on. What's lost my order here? What would you recommend release? Oh, you're getting tired. Okay, come here. What would you recommend the order they release? Okay. New Jedi Order is the best series. Sorry, I lost my place. What's your take on supposed Reddit leaks on the J.J. Abrams cut? Christopher, is it really going to make a difference? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I got good friends who want the release of the Snyder Cut, and I have sarcastically said, if they release the Snyder Cut, it's still going to suck. I love DC, okay? Are you done? I love DC. I want DC movies to be great, but Justice League is just a dumpster fire, no matter how hard you cut it. What's up? What's up, my little? What you want? What you want? Huh? What you want? I may have to go get her a little bottle, if that's okay. You may have to sit here and watch her cry for a minute. Anyway, but that's what I think about the JJ cut. I mean, would it really make a difference? I doubt it would. I think directors say that these days because they want to have an excuse if the movie underperforms. I don't know. It just seems more like an excuse these days. Took you forever to read Splinter in the Mind's Eye. I mean, it's an older novel, but Alan Dean Foster's book I thought was really good. In fact, the antagonist, before Darth Vader comes, that Imperial Governor or whatever, I thought he was really good. I thought he was a really good villain. I enjoyed it a little bit more, but it's not the best book, but I enjoyed it. Hey, John! At the hotel in Thailand, they had this channel that had kickboxing 24 hours a day. Oh, man. Relic, I miss talking to you, brother. I miss talking to you. No sound again? Oh, okay. Whoops. I got scared there for a minute. Should I just ignore Dawn of the Jedi and start on Tales of the Jedi? Well, here's the deal, Christopher. This is tough. I don't always listen to me because I could be wrong. You could love Dawn of the Jedi. You could love it. So I never want to tell someone no. So give it a shot. I think the tales that, well, Dawn of the Jedi, if you're talking about the comic books, Dawn of the Jedi comic books started off well, but they don't have an ending. But John Ostrander looked like he had a good, interesting point, but it doesn't end. That's hard to recommend. I would never suggest Dawn of the Jedi for someone to first read the EU, even though next time I read it, Professor Geek, I actually am going to read it in chronological order now that I think about it. I think I am going to try that. But I want you to decide for yourself, but Tales of the Jedi is fantastic, Christopher. It's a fantastic comic book, one of my favorite comic books that Dark Horse ever came out with. It's really good. It's really good. That's a great comic book to start on, too, especially if you like the Old Republic. I mean, it's not like the Old Republic that you know on the video games, but it's still good. General John, what do you think about books and comics that come out from Disney that don't contradict the EU? I heard Timothy Zahn wrote a book of Thrawn that fits into the prequel of the Thrawn trilogy. Well, actually, remember, he rehashed a short story from Star Wars Adventure Journal. He streamlined Thrawn, but Zahn even admits it's a different Thrawn in this universe. He wrote the character slightly different with some more fallacies because Thrawn's going to live a little bit longer in this series or this era. So Thrawn is a little bit different. My good friend Joe loves mixing canon, but a lot of those are in the new canon, and I'm not for mixing canon. Not for mixing canon. Oh, Professor Gig, I totally understand. Your little girl's sick. You take care of her. That's fine, brother. But you are welcome to come on. He's a good guy. Go check out his channel. Talks about everything geek, but he just found out about the expanded universe not too long ago, and so it's fun watching someone discover this for the first time, and be like, oh my gosh, and this and that, and I like the excitement about that. I like the wow. I love that. He thought of you when Jamie said he thought of me when he saw Bonkers. This game is Bonkers for $10 on the Facebook Marketplace in Madison, Wisconsin. It's calling my name. I'll eventually, I found that game for like $1 or something, or $2. That was back before I knew what it was. It's like, oh, it must be garbage. And I put it up, and I've never seen it again. I used to see it all the friggin' time. All the friggin' time. Okay. Saga of Nomi Sunrider superb. I agree. What's your favorite Infinity story? Mine is Old Wounds. I don't really have a favorite Infinity story. Really didn't like Infinities. Hold on just a minute. Just a minute, guys. I got to get her a bottle. That's the I need a bottle face, Daddy. Okay? You going to come with me? Hold on. All right. Look, Dad's got to answer just a few more questions. Do you think Disney Lucasfilm should re-release the old Star Wars games to current consoles? Sure, a lot of people love playing them. I think they should. I think they'll release a few more. They may not release them all, but some are more popular than others. But yeah, so far it's been a success, right? The ones they've released. Never mix canons. Just enjoy. Yeah, John, I totally agree with you. Totally agree with you on that. Okay, one long second here. Talk amongst yourselves. Can you say phony baloney? Say phony baloney. Boom. Phony baloney. There's a bottle. Look at this. Look at this. That is a happy girl right there. Happy girl with her bottle. All right. Let's do this. This is funny. This is funny. That's funny. Y'all keep talking about this. All right. Did you ever think Luke ever missed Biggs or Dak? You know what? I think there is something that he missed Biggs. I think there's a reference to his old times with Biggs. But to be honest, he didn't have much time to mourn Biggs. And I wish they would have gone into that. Dak, they never mention in the EU, which is really kind of crazy because I don't know. Maybe they should have done an adventure with these guys. Well, they did some stuff with Biggs, but nothing with Dak. It's an interesting concept. Okay, now let's scroll down. What is going on here? Please stand by. Did Luke even miss his aunt and uncle? Yeah, that's true too. He didn't have time to mourn during A New Hope, did he? And the books never explored that even any further. Bottle break. That's right. Hello, chair. This is funny. What about Heir to the Empire and Tarkin? I heard those are written for the EU, but were published. Yeah, but they became new canon, which means they were let go. They weren't written at the time. They were announced, but they weren't written. In fact, James Luceno changed Tarkin's backstory from the old canon to the new canon because he doesn't have to adhere to the old canon anymore. So those stories weren't even written. Yes, they were announced as part of the deal, but by the time they got around to writing them, everything was going to be new canon. So all the rules they had around them of what they could and couldn't do were gone, and they could make up new stories. And James Luceno made up a new background for Tarkin. I'm fine for people wanting to mix canon. I mean, Joe from StarWarsTimeline.net even says, okay, you got to take out this chapter here, ignore this part on page 47. And he does like that. If you do all that, then it fits. He likes doing that. That's his specialty there. And Joe's a good guy. We agree to disagree on mixing canon. I should have the Batman theme. Don't touch that dial. That'll be right back. All right. Hold on. Sorry, correct. I read Heir to the Jedi. It's bad. Matt, your chair is quite the character. I'm telling you. Was it telling jokes? Yeah, that poor Ewok. Boink. Kind of hanging on a whim and a prayer. Okay. Do you think Luke died in the EU due to his injuries after Abeloth? No. He got beat up pretty bad, right? But he's still around after Crucible, and he's gotten better, even though they're all healing after the events of Fate of the Jedi. And I think he was going to go find the dagger, right? And then eventually kill Abeloth. And only Luke could do that. And you need a personification of the dark side to go up against Luke now because he's so powerful. But I would have loved to have seen where that was going. But Troy Denning said they didn't have an idea because usually they went to a Comic-Con and were signing books. And then during their lunches or dinners, they just meet in a conference room and hash out what the next story arc would be. They would do that. That's how they wrote, what was it? Legacy of the Force and Fate of the Jedi. They just sat there, the three authors, whoever was involved, sat around and kicked around ideas for how the story arc would go. They just did it at Comic-Con, just as on breaks or at dinner. What? Would love to have been a fly on that wall. But he said they hadn't been, Del Rey was getting ready to commission the next story arc. And when they commissioned it and said, okay, you're going to do, another 9-book series, then whoever the three authors or four authors, whoever it is, would meet at a Comic-Con. And they say, okay, well, let's just meet at this Comic-Con and let's just sit in a conference room for a few hours and just talk about it. You just talk about the story arc. So exciting to think about. One thing I was curious about in A New Hope, Luke mentions the Academy. Was it the Imperial Academy? Yes, it was. Professor Geek is not a fan of mixing canon either. That is good to hear. Now, whether you are or not, that's up to you. That's your preference, really, of whether you're up to it or not. But I personally do not like it. It's like I don't want to see a story of Star Trek, Star Wars crossover. I don't want to see that. Some people do want to see that, though. They want, in the comic books, we always love these impossible crossovers, like Punisher and Archie teamed up. True, there is a Punisher Archie comic book. Do we need that? Why? I mean, it's done that humorous. I get it, but I don't know. Some team ups were never meant to be made, and with Star Wars mixing canon, not my cup of tea. Do you ever do any writing yourself? Professor Geek, I write dinner theaters here in town. That's how I paid for all my Westing Games material. And other than that, I did write a short story a long time ago. We were reading it on the podcast, a few chapters at a time, called Return to Endor. And I wrote it right as I was a freshman. No, I just graduated college. I could not write. And it's funny. And we make jokes. And we were, where is it? Maybe up there. I usually keep it around here somewhere. But we made jokes, and it's not that good. I need to dust it off and kind of rewrite it now. I think I'm a little bit better. But you know, I'd like to make the time. I just don't make the time right now. I have other things I'd rather be doing with my time, but hopefully eventually I'll get back around to writing. My brother writes. He's on the podcast pitching his new book series. He's got a contract and everything. I beat him to a contract, though. Sequart signed me before he got a publisher to sign him. I held it over his head. And then with the multiple delays on the book I was working on, his book was released 1 month before mine. So he got into print before I did. He didn't brag about it, but I know everyone thought it was funny. The whole family thought it was funny when I was throwing the contract in his face going, do you need help? Maybe I can go with some of my editors and let them know that you need some, you need that you're looking for a contract, someone to sign you. But now he's got a good contract. I mean, he's doing multiple books for him. So he's actually way more successful, and I don't care because he's a better writer than me too. Hey Matt, pay attention. There's some things going on. What do you think is going on in Hapes during the Legacy You know what? In the Legacy comic books, they don't really talk about it. Hapes really gets ignored for the most part, right? After Wolverton, and there's New Jedi Order mentions what's going on there too, and so does Young Jedi Knights. But throughout the most part, after the Hapes are, kind of allies with the New Republic, screw it. We don't talk about them anymore. It's kind of wild. In Star Wars Rebels, Obi-Wan and Darth Maul fight one last time, and Maul's killed. Whatever happened to the Maul in the EU? Did the tales come out? Actually, General John, that is based off of the comic book Visionaries. And I hear I haven't seen Rebels, but I hear it's very similar. Darth Maul comes to Obi-Wan while he's on Tatooine watching Luke. He has the half metal body from below the legs, and they do one final battle where Obi-Wan takes him out finally. I heard they did that in Rebels, but I don't know because I haven't seen it. But it's straight from Visionaries, which at first was non-canon, but could be considered canon now. I don't know if they ever made that C canon. I don't know. But Visionaries can now fit within the canon, because some of it was canon, if I recall. C canon. Uh-oh. What is going on with this? All right. So Luke did go to the academy. How do you see it playing with Luke being in the Empire? Well, I think the academy was not connected to the Empire, but it did raise cadets that could later join the Empire. If my understanding of that is correct, someone can check me in the comments if I'm wrong. Crucible is very anticlimactic given the story arc that just happened. I did, however, love it because it was deeper philosophy it allowed to be developed in the Force. What are your thoughts? That's what my article was about. Actually, was Crucible. It was never meant to be an ending to Star Wars. It just ended up by default being the ending that we didn't need, we didn't want. Remember, Crucible was one of those midway books in between big story arcs. Troy Denning said there was going to be a trilogy. He was going to do a short trilogy about the Anzati being the main threat, and then they were going to do another big series. So Crucible was one of those in-the-middle books that wasn't supposed to be epic, like Millennium Falcon. Millennium Falcon's not epic. It just serves as filler in between two big story arcs. And that's what Crucible was too. Oh, Pip writes screenplays. That's awesome. Pip, awesome. If you could take Ahsoka Tano out of Clone Wars, would you put her between Crucible and the Legacy comic books? If I could take Ahsoka Tano out of the Clone Wars, I would put her in the new canon and walk away slowly. Make sure she doesn't follow me back into Legends. I was not an Ahsoka fan. Hey, Professor Geek, when I said title of my books, one book, and I was a contributor to it. I need to correct myself. It was from Sequart, and it was called, you know what, I keep looking for it, and it is not on that shelf. Where's that book? It's called A More Civilized Age. Maybe in the bookshelf in my room. And it was supposed to be a book on the EU books. And we were just, me and a couple other real authors wrote different things about the expanded universe novels. Unfortunately, that third one ended up being a mix of everything. But there's some good articles in there, good stuff in there. But Sequart did a trilogy of one book, what was it called? A long time ago, which focuses on the movies and TV. The best one is A Galaxy Far, Far Away. And that is one that focuses on the comic books. And that is by far my favorite. I should have, and I got my choice. I could write for the TV, movie, comic book, or novel one. And I said, is it EU novels? They said, yeah, just EU novels. I went, that's what I want. And I picked the third one. I wish I would have picked the comic book one because the comic book one is the best. But the third one's called A More Civilized Age. And they started including more canon because they thought we need to include, because there's a lot more canon books by that time. The book had come out, and they kept delaying that book and adding and changing stuff to it because the book release, the release date kept getting delayed. And I was like, come on, guys, I really need to beat my brother to print. It's really funny. But I didn't write the book myself. I should be clear on that. I'm sorry. I submitted an article, or what's it called? An essay. It was a book of essays. But to be honest, even the first one is really good. The first one's really good. So you can get it on Kindle. You can get it on Amazon. You know, I'm supposed to get 2% of every $100. I don't know. I haven't got a single check from Sequart. They ain't paying me squat. They ain't paying me much to do it either. I used to have my contract somewhere around here. I guess it's gone. It was a standard contract, but it was really fun. I printed it out too. I was so proud of it. If you were a clone trooper, what Jedi would you not want to serve under? Ahsoka. Just when she has to call Anakin Sky Guy and get under her skin. Whoops. Man, I lost everyone's space again. Speaking of the Happies, how do you pronounce? Okay, I'm going to do it. I soldier. I know that's not how it's pronounced, but I soldier. I solder. I don't know. You look at the audiobook version. I think you can listen to a clip of the audiobook and it'll tell you. But I called it I soldier, even though that is not how you pronounce it. Hello, Juan. Old Wounds? Is that the Visionaries one? Comic book? Look at that, Professor Geek. We have another thing in common. We both didn't like Ahsoka that much. All right, sir. Have a good night. If the EU is still going, how could you see it ending? Never. I would want the Crucible to catch up with. I want Crucible to catch up with Legacy comic books. I'd like to see that bridge. I would at least like to see that. So, someone actually asked me the question, which is a pretty good question. Matt, what would make you happy to say, okay, they can stop making EU books? I mean, they have to stop somewhere. Where do they stop? I think if they finally make that connection and flesh out Legacy a little bit better, I don't have to do that. The filling the gap between Crucible and Legacy would be good enough, I guess, for me. I view the TCW exploration of the Force with Mortis arcs as silly. I agree with that. I hated those episodes. I see it as simple mythology. Yeah, it is. But remember, what's the Force? It's a simple mythology, right? Created by George Lucas. So you could argue that Star Wars in itself, the mythology of the Force, is silly. I talked you out of getting the third one. The third one's fine. I was just disappointed because it wasn't what we first envisioned it to be. And they added spoofs, TV spoofs in there. And then they added there's something about Simpson Star Wars. Like, what is that doing in here? This is supposed to be about the books. But the stuff that's on the books is really good. You know, but I have to admit, I think the comic book one is the best. It's really good. The second one, Galaxy Far, Far Away. I talked you out of getting my book. That's kind of funny. Think about it. Get my book. It's not my book, but get the book that we all contributed to. It still has some good stuff. I watched your video, Marvel Star Wars 108. How can it be considered canon if Disney came out with it? Disney comes out with anything under the new Legends banners, it's still considered EU. Yes, Legends is the old EU. And if you notice, it came out with the Legends banner. So we got new EU, and it fits perfectly within the expanded universe. But it was created to fit in the old universe. You need to check out my interview with Matthew Rosenberg on the last Prince of the Universe podcast. Matthew's a fantastic guy to talk to, and I can't wait to talk to him again someday. But he gives a lot of details in 108. He's a big fan of the expanded universe. They wanted it to fit within the old canon. I definitely appreciate them for that. Isn't it funny how Kathleen Kennedy says there's no source material yet Rise of Skywalker rips off a Dark Empire badly? Yeah. I mean, shoot. We even joked that it's ripping off the Jedi Prince series too, right? Because, hey, Ken is the Emperor's grandson or son. Yeah, grandson, I think. Oh, no. So they ripped off tons of stuff. But yeah, again, Christopher, I guess you weren't here last night when we talked about this, but Kathleen Kennedy, for some reason, everyone at Lucasfilm, they want you to forget about the EU. What EU? There was never EU. Remember when Chuck Wendig's Aftermath novel came out and they said, for the first time ever, a story that happens after Return of the Jedi, and everyone went, it's not the first time ever. And they consistently keep doing it. It's like they really want you to forget about the EU and accept the new canon. There's nothing wrong with liking the new stuff at all. But they want you to love that and never mention the EU again. Please forget. And so they refuse to admit it even exists now because they want you to forget about it. They want you to be accepting. That's why that whole resetting the timeline to episode 7 is like, what? They just want you to forget about the old canon. Simply put. How do you think the Force gives us a better view of our own lives? Oh, that's just like the far end of the swimming pool. That's kind of deep. I don't know if I can answer that one. It's too late for me to answer that one. My brain's not working. Favorite book format, paperback, hardcover, or science fiction book club? The omnibuses from Science Fiction Book Club are fan-friggin-tastic. Did you get them, Southpaw, back in the day? Are those great? Man, I love me some Science Fiction Book Club, like 5 books for $1, and then you had to buy 3 at regular price or something. Then it went to 4 books for $1. Then it went to, they don't do that anymore. It's kind of sad. But that's how you got into books, man. That was a great one. Hold on just a minute. Kathleen Kennedy only shows once again how incompetent she is at the head of you. Man, yeah. Are there many EU stories coming out like Marvel 108? Not right now, but hold on. Are you going to drink this? You're going to play around with it. You can drink it, but don't play with it. I play around with the bottle and pour it out. Nothing right now, General John, but we're hoping. General John, I don't know if you know, but we actually, a bunch of us crowdfunded 2 billboards asking for more legends that we're going to put in front of Lucasfilm's front doorstep or close on their way to work. Both billboards asking for more legends, and they're going up in April. It was going to be February, but we had to delay it because one of the billboards is under construction, and they wanted to do them separately or give us another location. We said, no, we want them at this. We'll just wait till they're both available again, and that's going to be in April. So they're coming up in April. It's going to be really awesome. They want you to forget about the EU so they can sell you their alternate versions of characters and ships and worlds, and it's all about the money. That's true. They want you to forget that they ever created the expanded universe. I mean, it's obvious, right? You cannot deny that. You cannot deny that Kathleen Kennedy is doing that, and everyone. Release the Sword of the Jedi. Christy Golden said it never existed. She only had a title. Whatever. They had a cover, and she said she was, it had a release date. You had something. Christy Golden just doesn't want to admit it, which is fine. I've noticed a lot of authors don't want to admit they have stuff. One time, Stackpole, I heard him talk about how he and Zahn wrote a short story about Baron Fell. They wrote a 4-part short story for Star Wars Adventure Journals. And he said it just didn't get picked up, and they were kind of bummed about it because they really liked their Baron Fell story. Well, then right afterwards, I walked up to him and said, "Hey, I'd like to read the Baron Fell story." He went, "Yeah, we don't have that anymore. I don't think we saved that." What? You did not delete a story that you and Timothy Zahn worked on. He backpedaled because he didn't want to reveal, unpublished material. They'd rather sell that and have you purchase it. I get it. The only person who's been dead honest with me was William Dietz. When I talked to him, Bill, as I get to call him, is a really nice guy. For people who don't know, he wrote the Dark Forces trilogy. He gets a lot of flack for not doing a good job, but no one had written a book based off a video game before, so he was doing the best he could. But he also wrote another book that was about to get published called Escape from Dagu, and he got paid in full for it from Lucasfilm, and last minute, George Lucas approved Yoda Dark Rendezvous, and they were like, "Oop!" And they had to cancel a book because contractually Del Rey can only release X amount of books a year from Lucasfilm, so they decided to cut Escape from Dagu. Well, it never came out. So I asked Bill if I could have it, if I could just read it, and he thanked me for it. He said, "Yes." He said, "Matt, I do have it. I'll be honest with you, I do have it. Unfortunately, because I got paid for it, I don't think I can release it." Because I actually sold it to Lucasfilm officially. They paid me in full for it. And I said, "Okay, I understand that." And I was talking to him because if his contract was like mine, not that we're peers, but I had a pretty standard contract. I said, "Read that contract because it says if they do not publish it after 3 years, you're welcome to publish it on your own. You can't charge for it, but you can release it to the public after 3 years." But he just didn't want to do that. He didn't want to get on anyone's bad. He didn't want, Lucasfilm to be upset with him if he released a story like that. And I totally understand. But you know what? He was dead honest with me. He didn't say, "Well, Matt, I don't have that story anymore." No, he has it. He's just afraid he can't, release it. And I totally respect him. And seriously, Bill is a great, great guy. If you ever get a chance to talk to him, he's a fantastic guy. Oh, Southpaw wasn't collecting it back in the day, so he missed those releases. Some of them are very expensive now. Ooh, very expensive. I wonder what the most expensive one is. It always changes every time I talk to someone. Oh, you Professor Gig, I can't wait to talk about the billboards. Can't wait to talk about that. We have a lot to talk about. Oh, forget what happens in the Jedi Prince novels. I heard they contradict a bunch of stuff. Christopher, I'm actually doing my review of those right now. If you look back, the last 3, Matt's Expanded Universe, goes over books 1, 2, and 3. And spoiler alert, that's what's 4, 5, and 6 I'm going to review next week. The reviews are fun. The novels are fun too. Not for everyone though. I will agree. Rob D could be right. Christy Golden doesn't want to step on anyone's toes. I think it's just a thing for all authors. They don't want to admit that they have unpublished stuff because they may repurpose that for something else, either non-Star Wars or put it into a Star Wars story later on. So I can understand it, but at least be honest. Say, like Bill, I have it, but I'm just not going to share it because I just don't feel it's right because I got paid for it. I totally understand that. I totally respect that too. We should have a deep philosophical talk session stream sometime when you're more awake, when everyone discusses what they learned from Force philosophy. There's a book on that, like the philosophy of the Force. I think it's something like that's called, like Religion of the Force. I read it once a long time ago back in college. It was interesting, but a little too much. We're overthinking our nerddom when we're making books about the Force. I don't know, but some people love talking about that. That's fine. You would love Joe Bongiorno's upcoming supernatural cult encounters and supernatural. Can't remember what it's called right now. That's my brain. It's shut down about an hour ago. Thanks to you, goofball. Yeah, I'm glad you think that's funny. She's laughing. Never understood the prophecy of the chosen one. How could Anakin be the chosen one and bring balance to the Force if the Emperor comes back in the Dark Empire and Darth Great? Well, he brings balance, but that's not to say it'll be imbalanced again. In fact, remember, the Jedi, the light side was growing. So you have to bring that balance again. Or did Anakin bring balance to the light side when he eliminated all the Jedi? I don't know. The prophecy's only in there for a fantasy, because it's fantasy sci-fi, right? That's why George put it in there. But you're right. If you think about it too hard, it may not make sense. But I don't worry too much about prophecies like that. Do you think the Sword of the Jedi would explore Alana Solo? No, Christopher. According to Christy Golden, it was going to explore Jaina Solo and her relationship with Jagged Fail. Personally, I think it was going to be Jagged taking over the Empire and kind of separating it away, like we see in Legacy. Maybe the start of the Grey Jedi and stuff like that. It'd been interesting. Who remembers the comic book based on the Ewoks cartoon by Dark Horse that was a more serious take on the characters, but it was a bit dark? Yeah. I can't remember what it's called. I have it over here. That was a good one, though. And then based off the cartoon ones, too. It was really good. I enjoyed it. Man, when that one came out, I was like, what? I didn't even know it was coming out. That was great. The most expensive science fiction book are The Last Jedi and The Republic Commandos omnibuses. Really? So that one, Coruscant Nights, and both Republic Commandos. There's one. These are nice. And there is the first one. Those Science Fiction Book Club ones, man, they were super nice. I was glad to have them. I just wish they would have made more of them. New Legends in 2020, Jedi Prince 7. That's funny. Hey, what happened here? Oh, why it keeps skipping. $400 for just one book? Which one is $400? Goodness gracious. Someone like Rise of Skywalker. Fine, that's great. Yet to write anything on Star Wars, but I do have a book on superhero inspiration for our lives from Hero House Press. All right. Hey, guys, check that out. Interesting. Good. Thank you, Professor Geek, for sharing. I guarantee you he writes better than I do. How do I know that? Because I'm not that big of a writer. Midichlorians, yeah, for real. Yeah, they borrow a lot from the expanded universe, Ray Blitz. Are all the... Whoa, look out. What happened? Okay, are all the EU novels in hardcover? No, there are some, like the Rogue Squadron series only got paperback. What else got paperback? Cross Current only got paperback, which was sad. I was hoping to get it hardback. The X-Wing books I've already talked about. Star Wars Galaxies, which is not that good, but it only got a paperback treatment. I'm trying to do a quick one over here. Oh, the Republic Commando 501st. I don't think that ever got a hardback either. But there's very few that didn't get a hardback treatment. Stop. I like Dexter Jettster. I like this character in Attack of the Clones. Dexter Jettster was a fun character. I heard that George Lucas wanted the sequel trilogy to be about the wheels, and that he was planning it since the first movie. Do you know anything about the wheels? Only what A New Hope novelization tells us, which is not much. So to be honest, you know, George Lucas kind of flip-flopped on that. So we'll never know. It's Canadian. It might have been $400 Canadian. Hey, you never know. You never know. I mean, on eBay, any given day, those things can go off for hundreds of dollars. I'm sure they can. Did Lando Trilogy Book 3 only get paperback too? Yes, it did, Rob. Thank you for that. And it was disappointing because the first two came out in hardback, but I guess they thought, Del Rey thought it wasn't worth it to print the third one in hardback. I searched forever for Star Cave of Humbaka. What are you doing? You're making noise? Yeah. Well, now you're on camera. You gonna make some more noise? You think that's funny? You think you're funny? Thinks you're funny. Thinks she's funny. Yes. Best place to start is an EU reader. Josh, best place to start is the Timothy Zahn trilogy. Just ask Professor Geek. He just finished it not too long ago, and he loved it. So the Thrawn trilogy. If you like the, you know, Han, Luke, and Leia, it's a great place to start. Do I think the new canon could be considered an alternate timeline to Legends? No, but Joe would probably agree with you on that. He likes the idea. Well, he likes the idea of it being an alternate dimension and that both are coexisting. Because, of course, in the Marvel comic book, that one issue, and then in the Westing Games other space, we know there are other dimensions. So he tries to put... I mean, it's a very interesting philosophy. Maybe when I eventually interview him, I'll have him talk about it. And Joe can make anything make sense. He's a really smart guy. So the chosen one is a Skywalker family, not just Anakin. I mean, it's Anakin, but it seems like it's everyone. Because didn't Luke do the same thing? I don't know. And doesn't Cade Skywalker do the same thing in a way? I don't know. Clone Wars novelization was the only way around. It only got a hardcover release in North America. Huh. You hear the casting rumors for Luke in the Kenobi series? I don't care. Young Luke. I hope it's someone that everyone hates. Oh, it's some teeny bopper. I hope Justin Bieber gets it. Okay? I think that'd be great. Yeah, I know you meant alternate dimension. It was cool. Hold on. Oh, here. Why don't you drink the rest of this milk? Nope, you're done. Okay. I know. She thinks this is so much fun. Here, hold on. Oh, don't. What's going on here? Erg. Oh, I got caught. My leg. Hey. What's he doing? Hey. This is the face of someone who likes to stay up all night and then sleep all day. Yeah, you stinky. No, you little stinker. Are you a little stinker? Say hello to everyone on YouTube. Say, I'm a little stinker. That's my name. My name is Little Stinker. Okay. Oh, I missed some questions here. Goodness gracious. Why is this thing going slow? Oh, I'm rendering a video right now. That's why there's a delay. Like, I'll get no questions, and all of a sudden, like 20 questions pop up, and it messes everything up. It's not your fault. I'm rendering something on this laptop. Dadgummit. It slows everything else down. Slows the processor down when I do that. It's funny that I noticed in recent reprints, prequel novelizations have the new canon timeline. Really? The prequel novelizations? Because remember what Jennifer, what was her last name? with the head of the Lucasfilm Story Group. She said that those aren't, the prequel books aren't canon, new canon. All right, hold on. I'm sorry. That's what's going on. That's why I'm getting a freeze on this. Okay. Hey, any planned upcoming board game reviews? Well, Sean, and what are my thoughts on HeroScape? I've never played HeroScape. I'd love to play it. Ryan, I'd love to play it. Upcoming board game reviews. I just did Cubo today. It's a fun little game. It's not much, but I only paid like $2 for it. It was on Miniature Markets, like, you know, clearance sale. I also got Banana Bandits for like $3, but that was a waste of money. At least now I know not to get it. But let me see. Upcoming ones, whatever else I got in that sale. I'm trying to look at my bookshelf. I can't see them. I've scattered them everywhere. Whatever I got in that big clearance sale from Miniature Market is going first. And then I got some other stuff. One, I punched the board out for it. It came in on its own that day. I punched the board out for it. And the score track board, big score track board. Can't find it. Looked, I mean, I found all the, you know, the frame, the little pop-out cardboard boards. I threw them away. I looked in the trash, dug all in the trash. It's not in the trash. Can't find it anywhere. It is totally gone. It's a big piece too. Like, where did I put it? So I had to had to email DLP Games from, like, where are they? Germany. And they're sending me another score track. So it's going to take me forever to get to play that game. It's really disappointing. There's one game that just came in, even though you're not going to see a review for a couple months. Don't know when I'm going to get this to the table, but the new expansion to Food Chain Magnet. Woo-hoo! And this is like exciting. I was looking over the rules tonight. It's going to be a while to get that one to the table because I have an entire list of other games queued up for my board game group this weekend to play. Some old games, and maybe like one or two new games we're going to test out and play. All right. Totally took way too long answering that question, but love me some board games. All right, so here we go. I should review Bang. I've actually played Bang. It's not for me, but I understand it is a fun game. Do I think the recent influx of EU being put into canon and the visual dictionaries is an olive branch to fans? I know they think it is, but they're just not hearing us. We don't want our characters into the new canon. At least I don't. A lot of people I talk to don't. Come here. Go to sleep. We don't want that. What we want is just new legend stories. Just make them separate from the canon. We're fine with that. But that's what we want. And I don't think they listen to us that way. They think, oh, we'll put some EU throwbacks in there. They'll like that. It hasn't worked. We're not complaining. I mean, I'm not really complaining, but we just want new legend stories. Just give us new legend stories. That's all. You do what you will with the characters and everything. What are you looking at? What do you see? Yeah. There's you. Who's becoming the CEO of Lucasfilm? Oh, me? No way. Have a good stream. I will. Let's see. Oh, come on. What? Goodness gracious. I can't see. Everything froze up. I'm sorry. What's going on is I'm rendering something right now, and that's what's at 47%. What's my thoughts on the Weezer Black album? It was hyped up too much. Not that it's bad, but it was hyped up way too much. It was hyped up way too much, and wasn't as good as we had hoped it would be. We were thinking something like Pinkerton, right? If you're a Weezer fan, you know what that means. But that's what we were all hoping, and it didn't pan out. Lost my thing here. Maximus says, I love your passion for the EU. Thank you, sir. Metallica's Black Album. That's a good one. Do you think the EU community is an echo chamber that don't really care about the EU continuing? Well, I think EU fans, for the most part, they all want it continued. That's one common goal they all want. I don't know if anyone, I mean, there could be someone who doesn't want it continued. I don't know why, but yeah. Whole purpose of the Billboard project, right? To show them how much the fans want to see more Legends. What comes before Dawn of the Jedi era? Nothing. Well, yeah, and chronologically, they have the Celestials and stuff like that, but it was never explored. It's explored a little bit in Cult Encounters, Joe's book that he's working on finishing. Yeah, Relic, I heard that Lucasfilm changed the timeline centered around the sequel trilogy movies instead of BBY and ABY. Now it's BSI. Yeah, Before the Skywalker. Yeah, I know. It's terrible, isn't it? Matt, in my EU collection, the only story that's weird is Shatterpoint because I have the audiobook, not the novel. It's the only one in my collection. Is the audiobook better than the book? Because I didn't like the book. Yeah, Relic, I thought that was a stupid decision to change the point year 0 in the timeline. Do you wish there was a Harry Potter or Wizard chest that their pieces destroy each other? That's funny. There is a game called Lightsider in the expanded universe that was never really fleshed out, but it's kind of like a force chess using the force. Odd baby. Hold on. I know you're so excited. I don't want the Matt, how long you been going tonight? I don't know. She's getting a little bit tired, so I'm gonna have to end it soon. That's my fear for an Old Republic movie. It'll be vastly different. Yeah, it probably would. And that's the thing. Hollywood thinks they can do better than what's already out there, and I don't know why they think that. My fiance only read 100 pages of Heir to the Empire and stopped. Should I cancel the wedding? No. Maybe she's busy on wedding plans. Or maybe you can read it to her. Maybe I can get the audiobook. Go to bed, goofball. Go to bed. Here, I'm going to give you this water bottle. She loves this water bottle. She loves it. Better than any toy. She just loves it because she sees Daddy drinking from it. Hold on, it froze up a minute. Oh, rats. Yes, I knew it was a joke. What is going on? This is going so slow. Is there a book you change your opinion on? Like you used to like and hate it. You know what, Son of Luke? When I reread through the expanded universe, I'll let you know. Right now, I can't really say. But it is possible. It is possible that a book I loved or a book I hated, I would have a completely different opinion on. Karen Travis's books, meh, maybe not. I heard Filoni said not good things about the EU when it was still canon. If true, what was Filoni's problem? Well, he pretended to be a fan of the expanded universe when he has very limited knowledge. He's only read, as far as I know, he's only read the Heir to the Empire trilogy, and that's it. But he acts like he's the end-all, be-all. That's why I had my first problem with Filoni in the first place. He was faking it with EU fans. He got called out on it at Celebration a long time ago. The video of him getting called out used to be on YouTube. Me and a bunch of people saw it. And now it's gone. We can't find it. We cannot find it. It's not on the internet. I remember a year or so ago when my buddy says, "Hey, Matt, I can't find the video of Filoni." I said, "Well, it's on there. Hold on, let me find it." And I couldn't find it either. It's gone. And I wish I would have saved it. I wish I would have saved it or made a video of it. But the fan just called him out. He said, "You're a fan of the EU, but you said this, but that's not who he was. He was a..." And he just kind of went, it doesn't matter. And that's when he started, not caring about the expanded universe. Do you consider the idea of the MCU, the new Star Wars like in the EU? Everyone wants the idea of the MCU, the new Star Wars like. Everyone wants what Marvel MCU has. No, Gungan Fighter, my girls, twins. Everyone wants what the MCU has, a big continuity between the stories. But I don't know if the new canon's really delivering on that. In fact, they've even said that continuity is not their top priority anymore. It's just telling good stories. So that's why there's a lot of continuity issues. with them, or so I've heard. I can't speak to that. I shouldn't speak to that. It seems like that's every little girl. If it's daddy, she has to have it. Possibly so. No, but she loves it. But anyway, this has been fun. Yeah, last night, we're not going to do the same thing. Probably at midnight, shut it down. She cried a little bit, and then she sat in my lap or sat on the couch with me, and she cried and cried and cried, and then she finally fell asleep. Hey, because I don't have any questions right now, let me tell you some of the board games we're going to be playing this weekend. Hornet. I'm going through my list again. I want to give some of these games a second shot. Hornet, since I didn't play it that much. Here, Kitty Kitty, because I think there's going to be a lot of girls at this one, so that's a game they would love. Santiago de Cuba and Smugglers, which really goes over well with my friends. And if we have time, I may try a new, like I said, I want to try 2 new games. If they're not up for it, I'll play Bombay. Bombay is an easy pick up and deliver game. I want to keep the night kind of light. Whoa, and just like that, I got a ton. All right, here's what's going on. I'm not getting your comments, obviously, because my laptop's rendering a video right now, so I'm not getting them instantly. They're all popping up in sets of 10 or 5 or 10. So I'm sorry. Gungan, I knew you were joking. That's fine. Clone Wars, right? Hey, Gabriel, continuity is not really the main priority. Trust me. That's what I've heard. Mick, I'm about to finish the 3rd Thrawn book, and I loved Heir to the Empire and Dark Force Rising. I wish they wrote more EU stories. Yeah, it's a great series. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, weird bite, oh no. You mentioned there's a book about celestial, supernatural encounters, the trial and transformation of author. Yes, that's it, General John. Yeah, it's on Joe's website, StarWarsTimeline.net. He explores the idea of celestials, but it's interesting. It reads like the Silmarillion. If you've ever read Lord of the Rings, Silmarillion, it reads like almost like an encyclopedia, but it's actually very informative, very deep. It took me a long time to read it, but it was good. Who's my favorite Spider-Man? Maguire, Garfield, or Holland? I think they all do a fantastic job. You're gonna hate. Oh man. Who would I say? I like Tobey Maguire. He was the geek. No one likes him anymore, but he was a geek. He was great. Andrew Garfield and the girl that played Gwen Stacy. What? I didn't do anything. Watch. She loves it when I take a sip of this. Watch. You weirdo. Anyway, Andrew Garfield and the girl who played Gwen Stacy was the only good thing about those movies. There were so many missed opportunities in the Amazing Spider-Man duology. But Andrew Garfield was amazing. And Tom Holland is good. He's good. I enjoy him. So I enjoy all of them, but I just like Tobey Maguire. I just do. Oh, you agree with me too. Wow. That's wild. Thoughts on Dune 2020? I hope it's good. I like Dune. I will see it, but I just hope it doesn't suck. I totally forgot about Dune coming out this year. Christopher, do you know what month that's coming out? Best Spider-Man is PS4 Spider-Man. That's funny. Toby's your favorite too, Jacob. Wow. Tobey Maguire is Spider-Man versus Professor Geek. Wow, I thought this was an unpopular opinion. Like I said, Andrew Garfield did a great job. His movies just sucked. It wasn't his fault. He did a great job. Gwen Stacy, whoever she was, I can't remember. I don't know actresses' names, but she did a great job. But the story plot sucked. I mean, goodness gracious. What was it? Not Electro. Is that his name? Electro? He falls into an electric eel tank. Come on. It reminded me of Batman, Michael Keaton Batman. Dune is out in December. Oh, okay, so not for a long time. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, hold on. I lost the chat a little bit. Hold on. Why did you not do a video on that book? What book, General John John? Are you talking about Heir to the Empire? I haven't gotten to it. I'm going through it chronologically. Oh, you mean Joe's book. I will eventually. I think it takes place way later in the continuity, but I mean the timeline. I have to ask Joe. But remember, Joe is rewriting it. He's expanding it, a couple hundred pages at least. So I'll have to reread it again. So I'm waiting for the re-release of it. But it's a pretty deep book. I don't think I could. That'd be pretty deep to review. Why is it that modern Lucasfilm doesn't encourage a love towards the EU? Why does the staff try to make the EU books look bad? If they have a problem, they're worried about what EU fans say. I really don't know. That's a great question, Starpine. No one has the answers. Gabriel loves Toby. That's awesome. Emma Stone. That's her name. Dadgummit. I used to say that was my favorite girl in Hollywood. I don't like any. There's not an actress I go to see in the theaters, but I thought Emma Stone was good. I can't remember her name now. That's how terrible I am about it. Raimi made a great Spider-Man. Sam Raimi made a good movie. He made good movies. Even the third one, Sandman, is fantastic. It's fantastic. You could tell he didn't want to do Venom. Venom he kind of stuck in there because the production studio wanted it. But Sandman, the story with Sandman is actually really good. Thoughts on Dark Phoenix? Christopher, it sucked. Thank you, Dark Phoenix. Now X-Men 3 is awesome. That's what I think. Here, I'll make her happy again. Hey, Piper, watch. Daddy's going to take another drink. Oh, this is so much fun. What books y'all talking about reviewing and not reviewing? I think we're talking about Joe Bongiorno's Supernatural and Cult Encounters or something like that. Can't remember the actual title, if he's changed or not, but I think it's still Cult Encounters or something. Hey, you want to do this? Does that make you happy? That makes you happy? Okay. Pull out Daddy's hair. He's going to lose it all by the time you're 18 anyway. Haven't seen X-Men since Apocalypse. Apocalypse is like, it was okay. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't good either. The last good one was Days of Future Past, which I thought was great. I was excited for Apocalypse. And Apocalypse was just like ho-hum. And Dark Phoenix is awful. It is awful. New Mutants is going to be terrible too. Baby noise intensifies. I'm sorry. What's the stack of paper on the shelf above the Ewoks behind you? Looks like a top of Outbound Flight. Have I seen the Supernatural series? No, but my wife's seen it. She loves it. What's the stack of paper? Hold on. What's the stack of paper on the shelf above the Ewok? Here? Oh, it's not paper. It's just, oh, no, it's nothing. It's just paper. That's what you're talking about. It's just paper. Is that what you're talking about? It's just paper. A dry erase board. Oh, no, you're not doing that. Other side. Oh, I'm sorry. You did say, oh, no, that, that's an omnibus. Menace Revealed. It's an omnibus because it has the Dark Horse Extra in there, and I found out I got the Dark Horse Extra when it was released, but I can't find it anymore. It's lost in my collection, so I just bought this. This is super cheap, and it's the Dark Horse Extra stuff, and obviously it goes somewhere up around here in the Canon. I just haven't rearranged my books to fit it in there because I'm lazy. All right. Uh-oh. Okay, here we go. No, it's not your fault, Southpaw. It's my fault. I was an idiot. You were clearly describing it well. I just wasn't listening. You don't think Disney can save X-Men? Well, we'll see. I hear, what's his name? Hugh Jackman's coming in back for Wolverine in Deadpool 3. Can't wait. First Class is your favorite? Oh, I hate First Class. My wife likes First Class, though. She thought it was really good. Have I seen the new Jumanji movies? No. You know what? My wife loved the original one. And she does not want to see the new ones. I don't think she has. I have not. I saw the old one and enjoyed it, but I haven't seen the new ones. Wicked makes a cameo. Ewoks make a cameo in Rise of Skywalker. That's amazing. Do they really? That's wild. It can't be half bad, right? If they can do Guardians of the Galaxy, they can do X-Men. That's true. Guardians of the Galaxy is like a D-rated superhero team, and they did a good job with them. I was shocked. I thought Guardians of the Galaxy was going to suck. Thoughts on Lord of the Rings exploring the Second Age? Ooh, Christopher, we talked about this on my podcast not too long ago. I cannot wait. I just hope they do it justice. I hope Amazon paid a buku of money for it, and they're gonna put Game of Thrones money into the show. I just hope it's not just a waste. I know you're tired, baby. Hold on, we're gonna lay down. Do you read any Marvel or DC comic books, or do you? If so, have you read Injustice comics? Was that the storyline with the Justice League? If so, yes, but I don't remember it. I read a bunch of Marvel. I just recently sold a big Marvel collection to a buddy of mine. It was all the 80s stuff. I mean, Daredevil, which is really good, but I had to sell the bad with the good because I wanted to sell this a lot. And it's good, but mainly I'm a DC guy. I still have Batman. The comic books are so expensive these days. It's just so hard to collect them. And then the stuff going on with comic books right now, just kind of turned me off. What's the name of my brother's book? Oh, geez. Which ones? Hold on. I see you have the original Dark Horse extras sell a lot on eBay. Yeah, grab the omnibus. I think that's why I got it. I think it was because it doesn't have all of them, but I think it has a few of them. But yeah, the Dark Horse extras cost 25 cents. They're little newspaper, newsletter clippings. They go for a lot. The originals, really. Because they cost 25 cents, I think, back in the day. I have a lot of them, but I was missing a few of them. And I was like, oh my gosh. And so I bought that, Menace Revealed, because it collected a few of the Dark Horse extras. And who knows, maybe I have a very weak amount of knowledge when it comes to trade paperbacks for comic books, because I never collected them that much. I usually just got the issues when they came out. So a lot of the trade paperbacks may have included a lot of stuff like issue 0 or, a one shot of something, and I wouldn't even know. Like I know one of the X-Wing Rogue Squadron omnibuses carry the Ryder Wenham Applejacks comic book, I believe, which I did not know that. Okay, Rillet likes the new Jumanji. Maybe, if the missus is interested. Return of the King is your favorite. Star Prime, I just recently reread Lord of the Rings again this past year, 2019. Love those books. Love those books, but I cannot stand those Peter Jackson movies. I'm so sorry. Visually, they look great. Other than that, they're terrible. 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 Can't stand them. Some of the actors are good, too. I just have a problem with the story. They like to change the story from... Yes. She wants to talk, too. This is going to be my talker. I can't wait till she can talk. She can do reviews with Daddy. I hate how Hollywood thinks they can make a better movie. I hate that. I think Marvel makes better movies, Jacob, than DC, but I like DC comic books better. Gabriel, I did see the Joker movie, and I'm okay with it. I think it got overhyped to me. It's okay, but I don't like comic book movies that refuse to be comic book movies. They don't want to accept the comic book silliness. They want to be more realistic. I'm fine with the way they portrayed Joker. I even like how they kind of explained his laughing fits. All that was really good, but at the same time, you're trying to ground him in a real world, and not as big. Oh, baby. Okay, we're about to cut this. Thoughts on the Stargate franchise? Christopher, I love it. I just recently rewatched all the Stargate TV shows and the movies. Again, love it. Love that series. In fact, very funny story. These two girls, one's a big Stargate fan, the other one's not. And she said, well, let's watch the Stargate series together. Well, she got engaged. So the whole year they've been planning her wedding. They've been watching them. Well, she got married right before they finished the last TV movie. And she's like, oh no. So she came into town and told her fiance, after the honeymoon, she went, I've got to go over to Elizabeth's. I'll be right back because they had to watch that last movie. Okay, this may be it. This may be it. It's time to go night night. Let me see. But anyway, Christopher, I absolutely love the Stargate movies. Gabriel, they did not need to spin The Hobbit into 3 movies. In fact, the Hobbit movies were even worse. But everyone agrees with me on that. You know why they split into 3 movies? Come on. Nolan's Batman, the first 2 films are good. I hated the 3rd movie. Dark Knight Rises was so dumb. When a monk in a prison punches your spine and you're fine, come on, get out of here. If it ever happened, would you watch a film adaptations of the EU novels? Sure. It would never happen, but yeah. With Two Towers, Star Prime, the ending of Two Towers was totally off the rails, right? I used to watch it with an old roommate of mine. Good night, Pip. I used to watch it with an old roommate of mine, and we would laugh because he loved the books too, and we would laugh at how many differences there were, especially in Return of the King. And we'd go to the movie theater. And when The Hobbit came out, I'm not on social media, and I really wish I had been, because I looked everywhere for my old roommate so we could watch these movies again. And I don't know where he is now, and I miss the dude. But I wanted to watch Hobbit movies with him because he was such a big fan of the Lord of the Rings movies like I am. And The Hobbit is a great book too. Gabriel, you're right, showing that money bags. Hobbit trilogy is better than Star Wars sequels. Maybe so. Maybe so. Who's a video game character? Oh, yeah. Oh, this one's a little tired. Force Unleashed, Starkiller pulled a Star Destroyer out of the sky with the Force. Why does he seem more powerful than Vader and the Emperor? And that is correct, because he's a video game character. That's the reason. It is cool. It's cool to do that. But didn't Luke do that too in Dark Empire? But no, I think he destroyed a AT-AT. That's what happened. But that's why. And I mean, they kind of explain why Starkiller is really powerful in Force Unleashed. But it was because the video game had superpowers on him. That's another thing. People talk about that's a terrible EU story. Dude, it's based off a video game. And the guy's supposed to be superpowered in the video game. So I don't really mind that. Even though it doesn't really fit well as a novelization, I'm still happy because they made more novels. I just wish they would have completed. Remember, Force Unleashed 2 ends with him capturing Darth Vader. What happens next? We don't know. That's what I hate. I wish they would have just forget making Force Unleashed 3. Just give us the novel. Give us the ending. I want to see the ending. And of course, Starkiller has to die. Is he a clone? Is he the real Starkiller? I don't care. Just kill him off at the end. Is there anything Canon has done better than the EU? Gungan, I'm not the guy to answer that because I haven't paid attention to any of the new Canon. So I'm not the guy to answer that. Someone like Matthew from the Geeks Attic or Jeremy from Stupid Chainsaw Productions, they could answer that better than I could. I've read The Hobbit like 5 times. Can't get past the first hour of the first movie. I hear you, brother. Visually, it's still nice, but yeah. Star Destroyer was already falling. Okay, I can't remember, so thank you for clarifying that. Southpaw, go ahead. Go ahead, my man. Thank you. Thanks for joining. The issues with The Hobbit weren't Peter Jackson's fault. More the studio forcing a lot of stuff and splitting 3 movies because they were pushed to do so. I understand that, but at the same time, Peter Jackson, I know he pays lip service to Tolkien's works, but to be honest, I don't see it. I don't see it. I thought it was an insult. Whenever you think you can do better than a best-selling novel, say, we're going to tweak it. We're going to make it this time. No, keep it like the story. I mean, keep it like the book. It's like, what was that other book? Based off the short story from, I think it's Robert Masson, I Am Legend. The short story is fantastic, folks. Read it. It's great. That movie with Will Smith sucked. And I really wanted to like it. But the ending was so stupid in the movie. And the ending is brilliant. It is brilliant in the short story. Honestly, go to your library. See if you can get I Am Legend. It's great. It won't take you long, too. I think it's under 200 pages. which isn't much for me. Oh yeah, the Ramkata backstory on Rebel Life. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, I think that's going to be it, because this little one needs to lay down. And when she starts making that voice, she's tired. But oh wait, and look, I got like 17 more questions. Hold on. Moxie. Mox. Hi, Matt. Started reading the EU novels around 2 months ago due to your reviews. Oh, awesome. Started with Labyrinth of Evil and the Thrawn trilogy. Thank you for introducing me to... Hey, awesome. I'm glad you like it. I'm glad you read some good books so far. Matt, what's your opinion on the Chronicles of Narnia movies? The first one was okay. Second one was... Prince Caspian was awful. Third one was okay. The BBC movies that included Silver Chair is really good. Supposedly Silver Chair is still going to get made, but that movie keeps getting delayed, so I think that's dead in the water now. But I would like to see some good movies made out of those. So they were hit and miss. The BBC movies are actually fun. Even though they're cheaply done, they are charming. Matt, may I ask what got you into the whole universe? It was the Heir to the Empire, the first book in the Thrawn trilogy. That's why I suggest it to a lot of people. Moxley Mox. Have you seen The Witcher? No. Everyone asks me that. I haven't. I'm watching Magnum P.I. Let me watch Magnum P.I. and Emperor's New School. And then maybe. Netflix has the rights to Narnia. That's right, Jacob. I forgot about that. Hopefully they'll do it justice. The thing is, stay true to the novels. Stay true to the novels. Don't try to make it up on your own. I think The Magician's Nephew would make a brilliant movie or TV show. I think it'd make a brilliant, but they're and Horse and His Boy, even though it's not that big, I think would make a good one too. So they can make good stuff, but take your time. Don't deviate from the novels. Those novels were bestsellers for a reason. Don't think you have a better storyline than what the author did, because you don't. So if they keep true to the novels, really true to the novels, I think they have an amazing story on their hands. So I'm cheering for Netflix. But I forgot. You're right. They do own the rights now. Look at this. Getting tired. Shh. The inconsistency with the 2003 Clone Wars, you mean the ending? They do admit they goofed on it, but someone explained it, that you're looking at it from two views. I can't remember, but someone tried to explain the ending. But you're right. They goofed the ending from the book and the comic book. No, the TV show. And how could they do that? But it was a big goof, which is sad. But I suggest the KOTOR video game for lovers of Thrawn and novel readers. Video game player, I hear KOTOR is the way to go. Disney had the rights to Narnia, but they weren't making money on it, so they sold it. But you're right, Disney did have it. C.S. Lewis's grandson's working on that with Netflix. Well, sometimes they attach a person. Christopher Tolkien was advisory to the Lord of the Rings movies, and those didn't do well. So, but I really do hope it does well. Emperor Palpatine's New Groove. That would be funny. Disney should totally do that. Director of Silverchair is also the director of Jumanji. Oh, wait. So Silverchair is still being made? You keep hearing about this, and they keep pushing it back. I'm like, are they really going to do this, or wouldn't they just do a reboot by now? I'd love to see. The BBC is the only one to do a movie of the Silver Chair, and how awesome would it be to see a movie of The Last Battle? But I would like to see another movie based on the Silver Chair, because the BBC one is not bad. It's a TV movie, British TV movie. But I think those British, I love the British Narnia Chronicles. I'll say it. Even though they're cheap and they're kind of hokey at times, they're fun. They're charming. Charming is the word there. Labyrinth of Evil was so spectacular to me, even though I didn't know about the inconsistency. You don't have to be honest, if you don't keep up with Tartakovsky's Clone Wars, you miss it. It's not that big of a deal. But yeah, they did goof the ending on that. You like KOTOR 2 better. Interesting. You think the comic book movies will quit being popular in the near future? Man, I've said that, a year or so ago, and they're still making lots of money. Until people say, okay, I'm done. I'm burned out. Eventually, people will be burned out. I don't know when that'll be. For me and my wife's burned out. She doesn't want to see any of the MCU movies. They can come on Redbox and she'll watch them. But after Avengers Endgame, she said, okay, I'm done. Now, how many other fans are like that? We'll see when what's the next big one to come out? I can't remember. I don't even keep up with the movie release like that. The only one I'm really interested in, Christopher, is Deadpool. I love the Deadpool movies, so Deadpool 3 gets me excited. But that's really it when it goes to superhero movies, because I have no faith in superhero movies these days. They just seem less and less spectacular. I love the House of Cards type trilogy, the prequels from Palpatine's point of view. It's funny. All right, so you ready for bed? You're so tired. Matt, what's your favorite era of... Oh, Black Widow's out next. That's right. Black Widow looks so dumb. Looks so dumb. Okay. Just a small time out. Where am I right here? Yeah, Bill or Dana would be fantastic. What's my favorite era in Star Wars? I like the New Jedi Order era, to be honest. Moxley Mox. But if I were you, I don't know. See, this is where... What do you read next? You can read basically anything, but like I said, Professor Geek starting in chronological order after reading some big good books may be a good way to go, because the series I think just gets better and better. Piper, go to sleep. We're about to put her to sleep. One moment. It depends on how Black Widow does. If Black Widow underperforms, I say they're at least on. Well, maybe we'll see. I think they're going to run it to the ground. Okay, I'll be right back. All right, a few more questions, and I gotta go put her to sleep. Reading Dark Force Rising right now. My favorite character ever since I was my favorite ever since I was little has always been anything Clone Wars. Ah, cool. My favorite Old Republic here in the Clone Wars. Okay, Old Republic for sure. A lot of people love the Old Republic. What genre should replace comic book films? I don't know. Westerns back in the day had their run. What was the other one that had a run? Scary movies, horror movies had their run in the late 90s to the mid 2000s. So everyone's kind of had their run. What's next? I don't know. That's actually a good question. What comes next? Yeah, I hear him. Crying baby. But yeah. What else? I want more car chase movies. You see Baby Driver? Baby Driver is fantastic. In fact, Baby Driver is a phenomenal film. We bought tickets to see the Spider-Man movie. Hold on. Sorry. We bought tickets to see the Spider-Man movie, and the theater was packed. They oversold the tickets, and we were pissed. And my buddy CJ and his wife were going to see Baby Driver. I was like, well, I kind of wanted to see that, but I want to wait on video. And I said, well, let's go ahead and watch it. And we watched it. I was like, this is a fantastic movie. I'm so happy I got to see it in theaters. Baby Driver was really good. Galaxy of Fear, I've reviewed those. Galaxy of Fear was actually pretty good. John Whitman did the best he could with what he was given. Oh, yeah, Relic. That's a good one. Return of some great comedies. We should definitely see that. If EU novels are written, should George have any say on the story? Not anymore, because technically he doesn't own it. you know. Just a moment. Read the first and there it is. I'm back. Man, this thing is just rendering forever. 72%. Matt, what's your opinion on the Jaden Core book? I thought it was okay, but I've heard from people who know Jaden Core it could have been better. And since I never played the game, I can't speak to that. Some of the Galaxy of Fear covers look freaky, yeah. Have I seen Star Trek Discovery? Yeah, Chris, I saw season 1. It sucked. It was awful, awful, awful. Vomit in your mouth awful. I watched the little mini-series because Rich Hanley, if you know Rich Hanley, he's written some EU. He wrote some hyperspace and some short stories. He was the editor on one of the Sequart books. We're still friends. He's a huge Star Trek fan, and he begged me to watch Galaxy, so I did. And then he begged me to watch the miniseries, and I did. And then he said, Matt, please watch season 2, because he wants someone to talk to about. I love talking to him about Star Trek. So I tried. I tried season 2, but it was too awful. So I'm done with Discovery. I will try Picard, but I am worried about a lot of the things they say. So Picard may not be that good, but I'm hoping it'll be decent. I just don't know. Yes, Discovery is not like Star Trek. How do I feel about Dr. Evans and Resurrection from the Dead and Galaxy of Fear? And how the EU treats zombies as a whole. I thought it was really cool, right? It's one of the few times we got to see a zombie in Galaxy of Fear and Death Troopers. Oh, and Red Harvest too. Stay with DS9 and TNG. Benjamin from Saturday Morning Sam Flange, my co-host there, well, part-time co-host, he loves the Next Generation. In fact, to be honest, every night he goes to bed with one of those episodes playing. That's how he goes to bed. He's always watching the Next Generation over and over and over. He's done that since the series finished. He used to watch them on DVD. Now he has it rolling on like Netflix or whatever, or CBS All Access probably. And he just lets it play, and he goes to bed to an episode every night. He watches an episode every night of Next Generation. Thoughts on Voyager? It was the weakest. Thank goodness for Discovery, right? Voyager, any stories with the Doctor, the hologram Doctor, is fantastic. But the problem with Voyager is none of those characters you care about. None of them. Voyager as an idea is fantastic. But you don't care about any of those. And I told this to Rich. It's so aggravating to watch Discovery, to watch Voyager, because it's like, you can do better than this. Even the bad guy, the Dominion, was a great villain. What's his name? Jeffrey, who's always in different costumes. He's fantastic as the Dominion spokesperson. But so many missed opportunities with that. So many missed opportunities. Voyager should have been tons better than what it actually was. And I blame that on the boring characters, Harry and Tom. I can't remember all the names now. Tuvok. Ugh. They're not interesting. The Doctor, hologram Doctor, fantastic. Literally every episode with him is borderline brilliant. Some of the best stuff. Do you play games? Not video games, board games. By Star Prime. It's possible I missed this somewhere on your channel, but are you anticipating any board game releases? Someone asked me that last night. Fresco, the expansion. Because it's expansion. I love Fresco. I want to see what the expansion offers. Queen Games is going to be bringing that out sometime this summer. They did a Kickstarter, but they want way too much for their games on Kickstarter. So I'm just going to wait because it's always like $10 or $15 cheaper when it hits retail. So that's just Queen Games, I guess. But that one maybe. But I just don't know there's that many games coming out. Oh, you can ask me about every one of them. DS9 is your favorite, Jacob. DS9 is great. In fact, it rivals TNG. It rivals TNG for me because of the Quark and his brother. They're called, I can't remember now. My brain's dead now. But they are Ferengi, fantastic species, and they are hilarious. When the Grand Nagus visits, it's fantastically funny. They mix humor and good storytelling, just almost blended perfectly. DS9, my roommate was a big DS9 fan. He argued that DS9 was the best series. Back when I was like, no, TNG. I like the original series best. And then it's probably a tie between DS9 and TNG for me. I just recently watched these all. I think it was early last year too. And Enterprise, which Christopher Barker asked about, I loved. I loved it so much. Because I think the characters are really great. The characters on Enterprise are super great. They were super interesting. All of them were, I thought. Professor Zeke's got to go. Hey, folks. He is doing the Return of the Jedi rewatch Saturday night on his channel at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Go check out Professor Geek. Really awesome guy. I'm going to try to do that, too. What is it, Saturday night? Oh, Saturday night. I may be late. I may be playing board games. After board games, if I can do it. I want to be there. But it's a board game night for me. But anyway. All right, that about does it for me. Oh, wait. Do you ever play Magic the Gathering? I'll answer that one. Because I don't get to talk to John anymore. No, my nephews are huge into Magic the Gathering. Huge. They love it. I played it before. I played it when it first came out back in the, 93. He didn't like it. Played it again just like a year or so ago. My nephew wanted me to play it, so I played it with him and hated it. But it is huge at their school, too. It's amazing that a card game that came out in literally 1993 was still... is still popular. Oh, you said Professor Geek. Good. Yeah, he's a good guy. But yeah, I don't play it. I don't play straight card games like that. I don't have many of them. Very few card games. In fact, very few card games. One of the comic cards back before Magic came out. Well, right as Magic hit, Wildstorm had this this box set here. That's what this is. If y'all remember these, well, it's Gen 13. Let me just pull out some from here. It's the same ones, but let me get Gen 13 in. Oh, these aren't in any order. But they had these. They were nice little comic book cards. Y'all remember comic book cards? Well, they had a little game on the back you could play. And it was almost, there it is. It was almost like Battle in a way. It's called Wildstorm Set 1. And this is right as, they printed these. Magic took off crazy like. And they're like, oh, well, let's add a game on the back real quick. It wasn't Magic the Gathering. It was kind of a weak game. But me and my buddies played the heck out of this game all the time. And I remember when it was going out of print, I bought the last pack that was available in my local card shop because I was looking for one special foil card. There were 10 foil cards in the set, and I had 9 of them. And I got it. It was the Wildcats team card. I was like, yeah. That last pack had it. I was like, oh, my gosh. This is back before eBay. So I didn't know how I was going to find it anymore because these were out of print now. They weren't getting any more boxes. And so I had a complete set. And man, I put all my foils. I had a great deck to start off with. I could beat anyone with my deck. I was like, yeah, who wants to play? And everyone joined Magic the Gathering. I was like, man. Or the ripoff that came up afterwards. But man. Oh, yeah, there's how you can play Wildstorm the game. There's your checklist. Oh, there it is. There's the last card I actually got was the Wildcats foil card, if you can see that. Wildcats, they actually made a cartoon about this in the 90s. But any team cards are really big, so yeah. Oh, and there's my girl. That's what I loved back in the day. Free Fall. She's on Gen 13. She wasn't that good a card, but you know what? I think I only got one of her in a pack. I don't think I got any more of her. She was very hard to find, and my favorite one member of Gen 13. So, but yeah, that was the last foil card I ever got on the set, and I completed it. And I was like, yeah, these are in the hard sleeves too, because that's how you play with these things. But no one will ever play this game with me. My old buddy Dan came in for a wedding, and if he had the time, I wanted to know if he wanted to play me in a game of Wildstorm, but he doesn't have the cards anymore. I got a complete deck. I'd take all the good ones out and give him the crappy ones. But I'd love to play with someone one day on that, but never going to happen, I guess. Oh, yeah, Magic cards. Some are worth thousands. In fact, my nephew, Relic, one of the nephews that I play board games with, guess what? Guess where he works? At the local board game store here in town on Saturdays. I was like, shut up. And he's actually separating Magic cards. He's kind of putting them in color codes, and he's reorganizing like commons of Magic cards. All right, Chris, thanks for coming in. Good seeing you. Cards are worth 1,000. Awesome. I had no idea. Yeah. I'm getting these messages a little late on you, really. But yeah, so, and that's just a game. Like, it's just sad because this is on my vintage list of games, and I have to move it down because I'll never play it again. I mean, maybe my girls are older, but they're not going to know those comic book characters, and they're not going to care. I mean, it's a simple game of battle. It's not really that well designed, but I just have tons of memories of going to like Taco Bell. And, you know, as kids, you eat some Taco Bell, and then you scarf some Taco Bell, and you bring out the Wildstorm set, and you play a game right there. And wherever we were at, you know, we'd break out a game, go to the mall, you know, with our backpacks, and then break out a game right there in the food court. I don't know. Maybe it's just the memories. The game probably isn't that good anymore, but I'd still like to play it. Never give up hope. Yeah. I probably ain't going to give up hope for that one. It's like the other card game I got, Challenge of the Super Friends. Based off the old 80s cartoon. It's a fun little card game. Who would play it, though? Who would play it? Because unless you remember that cartoon, you wouldn't be interested. Like, I tried to play it with my nephews because it had superheroes in it, but they're like, why are the superheroes drawn like that? Because that's from the old cartoon series. And to be honest, it's pretty cheap. I think it's like $10 online. And if you were a fan of the cartoon back in the day, if you think, is that just a cheap cash grab? No, the game is actually super duper fun. But why get it if you don't remember the cartoon from the 80s? It's kind of weird. I do love a nostalgia, though. I do love the good old days. Chris, thanks for joining, though. It is good to see you, brother. You're always welcome to talk. Let's see. Yeah, it can't beat the old days, man. I got it just to fill out my order to get the free shipping. Matt, are you part of the... Am I part of the enlightened few that believe Return of the Jedi is the best Star Wars movie? Well, I love it because it has Ewoks in it. So yes, I do like Return of the Jedi best. I saw it 3 times in theaters back in 1983. I absolutely loved it as a kid. And it's a happy ending. It's a good ending. You know, good triumphs over evil. The underdog, which is the Ewoks, come up and win. I like that. I still like Jedi. I think it's a fantastic film. Empire's good too, but Empire is a bad ending. It's a bad ending to a movie, right? The bad guy's winning. It's basically a cliffhanger. New Hope is great. It has its own little ending, tiny little ending. And Return of the Jedi, of course, it was meant to be. Part 2 and 3 were meant to be continued each other. I understand that. And there's nothing wrong with Empire. Empire's a fantastic film too. But yeah, I love Jedi best. Let me see. Oh, I can't remember what I was saying though earlier. I can't remember. My mind can't think. But yeah. All right. So I think that's it. I think I'm going to go to bed. Okay. I don't hear her anymore, which means she's probably asleep. But anyway, hey, this has been fun. 20 people watching. What are you people doing? I hope this is entertaining. It was fun for me too. Had a lot of fun. But I don't hear Piper, which means she was getting tired, so she was getting knocked out. Mama just knocked her out, so I'm probably gonna lay her in her crib and go to bed and start a new day. Thanks everyone. Again, continue to have a happy new year. I'll do this tomorrow. I think I got plans tomorrow, but we'll see. Who knows? All right, folks. Have a good night, and I will see you eventually. Everyone, thank you for coming on. This is a lot of fun. You guys are really fun to talk to. John, you're just saying that to be nice. Yeah, we'll catch up. Whatever. I'm kidding, brother. Anyway, you guys, y'all have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your evening and Good Friday.